experiences. So you think, when I was listening, when you first see those first scenes, you're trying to figure out, what do these pictures mean? What are these images about? And then you hear Donald Trump. That's exactly what I thought you would say. In fact, it's like a cloud. It's all around us. And the fact that you have this epiphany when that happened to the gentleman in Philadelphia. And the one thing that was so profound about that particular experience is they made a decision about how they were going to react, right? Something happened to them, but then they were at cause and decided how that was going to work. I think one of the most poignant things about this film is that one line where the woman asks Bennett, are you carrying around a state of mind or a state of being? Mm-hmm. Tell us about that.
So she asks him, this burden you speak of, is it a state of mind or a state of being? The evolution of that character is quite interesting. It's not as lofty and intelligent and visionary as it is. Pauletta Washington was in my last film. She called me and said she wanted to be in this film. And so I was like, where could she play? And it really was that simple. But it was a great moment because it forced me down a creative path that I never even thought about. And I thought about, what would happen if I got to talk to God? And for me, in my life, God is a black woman.
I love that.
And so her character's name is Yahweh, the divine energy. I'm leaning into our Yoruba cultural background, and he has a conversation with God, and it's supposed to come out of nowhere. Now, mind you, the way I wrote it in the script, we couldn't afford. Okay. And so, my line producer was like, so this whole floating in the middle with the piano thing, yeah, we can't do that. And so that's a parking lot. That's the beauty and magic of filmmaking. But but anyway, that's the conversation that I think God would have with me, about this so-called burden that we have. And not only so-called as it's made up, but I believe, and you're sitting here, which is weird because I always go to this. One of my best friends, and she happens to be here, told me one day, she was like, you get to decide. You get to decide who you are, what you want to do in this world. And when she said it to me, it kind of hit me a little bit, but then it was not until years later that I texted you and I was like, oh my God, I really did get to decide. And I wanted to empower, particularly men of color, and anyone who relates to the bias that happens in this film, with these things can happen to you. How you react to them, how it affects you is your decision. How you move through the world is your decision. And I wanted Yahweh, the character, to ask him that and put that on his mind. Is it a state of mind or is it a state of being? And she has this whole conversation with him about him trying to fit into a world that was not meant for him to fit into. Him trying to walk in shoes that were not crafted for him. Yeah, that's not your load you carry.
That's not your jewel.
No, that's not those diamonds in your. I wrote this. I remember.
I'm paraphrasing.
No, that wasn't towards you. I was just saying it's like weird, but I remember I was having them over there. But no, those diamonds in your crown are meant only for you. And I wanted, that was my love letter to my brothers. Like, we got diamonds in our crown, and they're only meant for us. And we often are trying to, because we're forced to, fit and assimilate into a world that's not really set up for us. And then we come out a little beaten up and burdened.
And chipped.
And
with a chip.
With a chip. And we did a corporate program with this film at a pharmaceutical company, which is one of the sponsors, and it was predominantly non-Black audiences. And you would not believe how many people said, that really happens to y'all? I was like, yeah. Every day, right? And every scenario in this film happened to me. It's fictionalized, and I've massaged it to make it dramatic, but everything in this film has literally happened to me. So anyway, that's a long-winded answer to your question.
It was a lovely answer.